we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about, after we talk about why it's so important to define who it is that you're going after, we're going to talk about who is it that you need to be going after. Next, we're going to talk about like what do we got to do to make sure that we're going after the right people. And the last thing is, how do we go about doing this? I'm going to actually make this an exercise for you guys so that you can walk away. Again, this is no bullshit podcast for contractors. I want you to walk away with tactics and tools and methods that you can actually apply immediately after this session, okay? Or even during the session. So that's even better. So let's get rocking and rolling.
Until right now, this very moment, contractors have always been on their own, not as tradespeople, but being alone and knowing how to take their business to the next level. They call us working class, they call us blue collar. They say that we don't have the smarts to become the business owner that we're meant to be. That is such bullshit. You have the ability. You're more than any of that. The question really is, where do you get the insights that you need specific to contracting to systemize your business so you can get your profits to pay for your freedom? I'm Andrew Houston. I'm going to show you how to make more profits, how to get more control, how to get more freedom in the simplest, quickest way possible without any of that bullshit. Welcome to the No Bullshit Podcast for Contractors. Listen up, level up, and if you learn something, like the video, subscribe to the channel, change your business, change your life.
All right, it's go time. It is, the green light has been flashing, and it is go time. So for those of you who are just listening into this, welcome to the No Bullshit Podcast for Contractors. And I'm totally jacked today. I'm totally excited because, like I said earlier on, I guess this morning when I was talking about what I was going to talk about today, this is a topic that is... the reality is that it's pretty painful for most of you guys. Okay, the word hiring probably gives you shivers, right? Like I don't know if you remember Lion King with the hyenas. I don't know, I'm dating myself here, but I remember watching Lion King with the kids, and every time they'd say, I guess it was Musrafa or something like that, the actual lion itself, the hyenas would say that name, they'd be like, ooh. You know, it gives you shivers. It makes you twitch. Hiring and building an A team is one of the most critical things for you to do if you're a contractor that really wants to get your business to be leveraged, that you really want to get your business to go beyond you, that you really want to get it to give you the freedom that you got into being a business owner for. Okay? The reality is that if we don't build a team, then we're all alone. And if we're all alone, well, guess what? You've just bought yourself a job. I call it just over broke, right? Which is basically you're living job by job, paycheck by paycheck. So if you're listening in on this, video, on this Facebook Live or on this recording, and you don't really want to build a team, you just want to just be yourself, then this is not the right place for you to be. This is just going to be a complete waste of your time. If you really want to build a true business, okay, and if you really want to become a champion CEO to get your business to run without you, to be able to control your business, to be able to control your life, then this is the right place to be. So, we're going to be talking about something very near and dear to my heart. We're going to be leveraging a really cool tool called the hiring audit. I'm going to share it with you guys in just a second, but we're going to get laser focused here. So some of the things that we're going to be touching on today, let me just do a little bit of magic, abracadabra, okay? So let me just move my little picture here. Here's what we're going to be covering off today. Actually, I'm going to put myself right in the middle of this. We're going to be really focusing on attracting, okay? With that being said, we need to understand a couple of things. These are 4 key things that we're going to be covering off. We need to understand why is it so critical that we determine, marketing calls it our avatar. Let's just call it your target prospective team members, okay? You need to really know why you get absolutely clear on your avatar, okay? On who it is that you're going after. if you want to start attracting people to your business, you've got to be clear on that. So we're going to touch on that in just a second. And that's super critical. You might have a paradigm shift. In other words, you might see, my goal here today is that you might see things differently, okay? And differently in the sense that you're going to be able to do things differently to get different results, better results for your contracting business. Sound like a plan? Okay? Again, if you want to get the hiring audit, which I'm about to share with you, I'm going to mention it a couple times. Just type in hiring audit, and then we'll get that out to you guys. All right. And I'm just seeing, am I actually live on the group here? I'm not sure if I can see myself going live here. I'm trying to see if you guys are making any comments. I'm hearing some clicks. I'm hearing some things of that nature. So let me just do a couple of clicks on my end and see if I can see some of your comments here. So it looks like in this moment in time I can't. Okay, but still make your comments down below, and that'd be super cool. So the next thing that we're going to talk about, after we talk about why it's so important to define who it is that you're going after, we're going to talk about who is it that you need to be going after. Next, we're going to talk about like what do we got to do to make sure that we're going after the right people. And the last thing is, how do we go about doing this? I'm going to actually make this an exercise for you guys so that you can walk away. Again, this is no bullshit podcast for contractors. I want you to walk away with tactics and tools and methods that you can actually apply immediately after this session, okay? Or even during the session. So that's even better. So let's get rocking and rolling. I'm going to see if I can do a little bit of a timer. I guess we got 23 minutes left. So I'm going to do a bit of a countdown. 23 minutes. Let's go with 7 minutes here. All right, let me move that baby over. So I'm actually, you know what? I'm only going to spend a few minutes. Let me stop that one. I'm going to spend only a few minutes on the why. That shouldn't take me too much time. And then we can get into the who, the what, and the how. All right? Good? Let's do it. Why? Why? Why is it that if I pull up the hiring audit, abracadabra, there it is, the hiring audit. I'll explain this to you in just a second. Why is it that on this hiring audit, that the very first thing, out of all the things that are on here, and again, I'll touch on them in just a second. I'm not going to touch on all of them, okay? If you want to get your hands on this thing, I highly advise that you do. I don't know how long my team's going to let you guys get your hands on this, but anyways, the very first thing on here is determine your avatar. So it is so critical for you to get clear on your avatar, on the team that you're trying to build because of this. And you guys probably know from now, I like to use analogies. Imagine you going fishing. Imagine you want to go fishing, right? It's you and me and the other 10,000 people on this community, and we all want to go fishing, right? We don't determine what kind of fish that we want to catch, okay? So imagine you've got half of the group that doesn't know what it is that they want to catch. They just want to go and they just want to go and catch some fish. So they go out, they go to one pond, to the next pond, to the next pond, to the next pond. And you know what? Some of them actually are successful in catching fish. But here's the problem. They can't eat any of them. Okay? A bunch of them have worms in them. A bunch of them are so small, all they're doing is catching minnows, right? Where they'd have to catch millions and millions of these minnows, or hundreds and hundreds of these minnows just to have a meal. The other half of the group, 5,000, okay? Guess what? They're focused. They know that they're going after, let's just pick a fish. They're going to go and fish for, let's say walleye, okay? Or otherwise known as pickerel. Well, they know, okay, they know what kind of fish they're going after, and they know that they're not going to catch those fish in swamps. They're not going to catch those fish in puddles. They're going to go catch those fish at a specific time of the, if it's a certain time of the year, which it would be, they're going to know whether or not they should be fishing deep for those fish. They should be fishing shallow for those fish. Guys, if you do not get focused, here's the other reason, okay? It's all the same reason. But here's the other, principle behind this. If you don't define what the hell it is you want, and in this case, we're talking about team members, if you do not define that, then you're going to get whatever the hell the world gives you. So we've got to get clear on who it is that we're going after, okay? That's super critical, all right? Now, why do you want to get your hands on this hiring audit? I'm going to tell you why in like less than 1 minute, okay? Which is just like anything in your business. In order to fix something in your business, you've got to identify where the hell are the cracks, where are the issues, what are the things that are working, what are the things that are not working, and what is it that you're going to work on next, all right? To do that, you've got to have some form of a system, a process, okay? Either you've created it yourself or somebody else has created something that's already working, that's already proven, which is this, okay? That's going to be able to identify the things that you've got to focus in on, specific to the different phases of hiring. And when it comes to hiring, again, we're not going to go crazy on this. There's 4 core phases. First, we got to find them, just like going fishing, right? We got to know what we're fishing for. We got to attract them, okay? We're going to get into attracting them in a second. Okay, well, we can touch on that right now, which is like, if we're looking at attracting these guys, if we don't know what kind of fish we're fishing for, we could be using the wrong lures, the wrong bait, okay, and the wrong tactics, the wrong techniques. And we're going to only end up with getting all the wrong stuff that we didn't want in the first place, okay? So, second phase of a hiring process, first phase is finding them, next phase is attracting them, next phase is landing them, and the last phase is keeping them, okay? You've got to master each one of these phases, and doing this audit allows you to identify where your greatest strengths are in which phase and where your greatest weaknesses are. And then this allows you to check off what are the things that you're doing, which is awesome. We've got to recognize, we don't do that enough, recognize our wins, and then recognize where the opportunities are, okay? So that's what this baby is all about. And right now we are focusing in on determining our avatar, okay? So in this moment in time, here's what we need to do, all right? Looking at the clock, let me set this baby right here. Here's what we got to do. I'm going to give you guys like about 10 seconds, but I'm going to explain this to you. You know, okay, if you've got your avatar defined as far as the employees that you want to hire, if you've got it written down, you know that you've got it. If you know exactly what they're, and we're going to get into a tactic for this, so you can walk away with this more clear, okay? Where you've defined what it is as far as their fears and their frustrations and their wants and their aspirations. You know what your avatar is if you have clarity of what it is that you're trying to build, okay? So, and why is that? Because guys, just like anybody, just like being in the trades, if we're trying to build something, knowing what the blueprint is determines what kind of trades you need, right? To go and build that building or whatever that is, or that deck, or put in that machine. So right now I'm going to give you guys 10 seconds, okay, to check off. Okay, so write it down. You could be driving in the truck. Do you need to determine your avatar? I'm going to say 99.99% of you guys do. Okay, even if you have it a little bit defined, you need to get it better defined, because this is a domino effect. If you don't get this thing nailed down, everything from this point on, the ads that you create, the people that you attract, the people that you interview, the people that you invest your time with or maybe waste your time with, okay, inclusive of the people that are working for you right now. This exercise helps you determine whether or not you got the right people or the wrong people. Okay, so that's the first thing, right? So what did we cover off? This is what we covered off. Let's see if I can bring up my old magic wand. Abracadabra. There we go. Okay, so hopefully you guys understand the why. And if you don't, if I went a little bit too fast there, okay, for you, don't worry about it. You can go back to the recording and listen to it again. Okay, so we just checked off this baby here of the why. Let's talk about the who. Okay. You've got to get absolute clarity, okay, on who your avatar is. So when we look at this, like I said earlier, if you don't get clear on this, you're going to attract C, can't deal with prospective employees, D, deadbeat employees, and you're not really going to know who it is that you need to keep on your team, get off your team, and who it is that you need to attract. All right? So we need to get crystal clear on the who. Okay? We talked about the why behind it. So who is it? Let's go through a bit of this exercise as to who it is that we're looking at. So the very first thing that I want you to do is this. This is one of the easiest ways to determine who it is is to ask yourself, what is it that you're trying to build? So then the underneath here of the who, we need to look at this as far as what is it that we're trying to build. Okay? Are you trying to build a $500,000 contracting company? You trying to build $1 million, a 10 million? Are you trying to build 100 million? That is super critical because you need to determine what the structure looks like. This is called an organizational chart. It's a pretty small version of it, but you need to determine who it is based upon what it is that you're trying to build. Okay, as far as what roles, what positions, and based upon that, now that we know what the roles and positions are, then we can determine what are the types of people that we need for those roles. As an example, if you determine that you need to hire more salespeople, you're not going to hire people that are complete introverts that don't like dealing with people. You want to deal with people that are extroverts that have the skill set of engaging and dealing with conflict and objections handling and things of that nature, right? Following me? If you're looking for a data person, you don't want to hire a salesperson that's going to want to be on their feet and moving and going out and engaging with tons and tons of people trying to close deals as a skill set, because that's not what we need them for. We need a data person like a Spock. Salespeople are somewhat like the Captain Kirk, and over here, the data people are like Spock, logic driven, okay? So when we talk about who is it that we need, guys, you need to determine what is it that you're trying to build. Next, you need to determine what are the roles. And after that, you need to determine the types of people. Okay? Introvert, extrovert. Okay? We do a lot of things with profiling. So one of the profiling tools we use is called disc profiling, and that determines whether or not a person is a dominant person, a person that's well, I don't need to go through all of it, but it really determines what their personality profile is. Okay, so that's the who part of this. Now let's talk about what. What are some of the things that we need to consider? So there we go, checked off the who. Right on schedule here. What? How do we determine what? Right? Like, how do we go about determining what it is that we need to consider when we're looking at these people that we're trying to look at bringing on board? Okay. Well, let's do a little exercise. Let's scroll this baby up. This is what I call secret psychology. So let's write that down. This is secret. I don't know how to spell psychology. That's pretty bad, right? But this is called secret psychology. So let me explain this to you. When I say psychology, I'm just going to say psych. Maybe it's P. Is it PYHCH? I don't know. You guys know that I'm trying to say the word psychology. Whatever. Maybe it's PCH or something. Anyways, I'm drawing a blank. But the secret psychology is really about getting into the head and the mindset of the people that you're trying to go after. And this is so critical. I'm going to give this one a little bit more time. Whoops. And I'll tell you why. The reason I'm giving you guys more time on this is because we're going to go deep. Okay, we're going to go deep into the psyche of what we need to consider. This affects the ads that we do. It affects every piece of marketing that we do. It affects the language that we use when we're talking with these people, and I'm going to share all that with you like in a matter of minutes here. So when we look at the secret psychology, we got to talk about things that really make up that person, all right? And when we're looking at that, there's 4, not 10, not 20, there's 4 key areas that we need to look at. So I'm going to draw us a little grid here. Hopefully, yep, there's my picture's not in the way. So follow me this. Follow me this. Follow me with this. So there's 4 quadrants. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. So now we got a nice little window here. They go in this order. Number 1. Number 1 is we need to look at the things that what? If we're going to look at attracting people and dealing with their psyche, one of the key things that we have to look at is we have to look at what's called their frustrations. By the way, for anybody that's interested in getting help through us and becoming part of the Champion CEO community, I'm going to be straight up. We use this on you guys because I don't know, my team doesn't know if you're actually a fit for the type of people that we're out to help. Because the reality is that we can't help every single person because maybe their mindset's not in the right place. And that's totally cool. There's no judgment. But the reality is that you need to make sure that you're really clear on the mindset of the people you're attracting, because like I said before, otherwise you're going to attract people that don't fit your culture, they don't fit the atmosphere of your business, and they don't fit what it is that you can deliver to them. Okay? You want to make sure that you can deliver to somebody to make them happy, to make them part of a team, and that they actually fit with the team, they fit with the culture, and they fit with the right type of attitude that we want. So the very first place in the psychology of this 4-quadrant secret psychology is frustrations. Next is those frustrations equate to something called their fears. I'll explain all this to you in a second. Next on this is the flip. So you basically take what is up above here and you flip it. So what's the opposite of frustrations? Is their wants. Whoops. Is their wants. Okay, so what are some of the things? Again, I'll explain each of these in more detail. And last, what's the flip of their fears? Well, the flip of the fear, the opposite of fear, is what is their aspirations? What are they aspiring to? Right? Aspirations. Okay, let's look at the clock. Okay, good, we're doing good. So, frustrations feed what equates to fears. And people's wants equate to what are their aspirations. So let's go through this. If you look at this so many times, and let's just talk about an ad. Okay, I'm getting a little bit into the how part, but it doesn't matter. As long as you guys get value out of this, that's all that matters to me. So when we look at frustrations, a good example of this is your ads. Okay, so if you look at any ad that's out there, think about a current ad if you're driving in your truck, a current ad that you've put out there to try and attract some of these people. And it's like, we need hardworking people that are dedicated, that are everything you're talking about in most of those ads that are out there. If I grab the newspaper now and look at ads or online ads, most of it is, they make it all about them, about the owner, about what the business owner wants out of them. Guys, that's not going to fly. Okay, that's like the best thing you can do for your competition. Okay, we need to talk their language. So we need to talk about their frustrations. And what are some of the frustrations that a lot of people out there that are already working for somebody else right now, say they're electrician or plumber or framer or what have you, they're working for somebody right now. And I'm going to tell you right now, they are seriously frustrated. They're frustrated because the business is in chaos. They're frustrated, okay, because they're being let down. Now, what am I talking about? Material not being delivered on time? You know what I'm talking about. Maybe this is some of the frustrations that you're creating for your own A players, and that's why you're losing them. Okay? So, frustrations, chaos. They're not getting, they show up on a Monday, they don't even know where they're going, and they're just standing around there. And then every time they get told to do something, it's always rush, 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 rush. They get let down because they don't get the right material. Okay? What else? Some of the frustrations they get, okay? There's no direction. They don't know how much work there is. They don't know if there's enough work for them for the next week or next month or next 6 months. They don't have any confidence with that. So what does that equate to? One of their greatest fears, if being in chaos, knowing that the business owner is in chaos, being let down all the time, not having enough direction is one of the greatest fears is not having work, right? Which is not being able to provide for their family. Now, guys, we've got to fill this out exponentially beyond what I'm doing. You should have at least 5 to 10 frustrations at least. It's sort of like 3 frustrations equate to 1 fear. So you could have 10 frustrations, and you could have 2 or 3 fears that are over here. All right. Next is their wants. Now, what's the flip of chaos? Flip of chaos. All we got to do is just flip. Just do the flip of whatever those things are. Is control. They want control. They want to know that they're in control of their destiny. A players want to be in control of their success. Let down. They want to be supported. What's the opposite of no direction? Sorry, I should have put no direction. They want to have direction. They want to know that there's a place for them, down the road. All right, and their aspirations are what? An A player's aspirations. Maybe their aspirations is that they want to be off the tools and be maybe in management. Okay, maybe one of their aspirations is they want to make more money. So, or maybe one of their aspirations is they want to be able to buy a house. Well, if they don't have control, they don't know that they're being supported, if they don't have any direction to know that there's enough work for them, that there's a place for them long term, and that the owner's going to invest in them, guess what? They're not going to aspire to become the best that they can become. So you need to define. Okay, coming back up here. What are the things that you need to consider? These are the 4 key things that you need to consider. Think about one of your A players that you've got right now, or even better yet, think about an A player that you lost. Why did they leave? I'm going to tell you why they left. It might have to do with some of these guys up here in red. It might have to be with them thinking that there wasn't enough work, that there wasn't enough security. So in your ads, now we're going to go to the how. That's the what. Now we're going to talk about the how. How do we go about using this? Well, I'm going to tell you how you go about using this. And I've got 3 minutes. Get rid of that guy. I've got 3 minutes to tell you. You've got to take this and apply it to every single aspect of your marketing. Hands down. You have to apply it to every single phase of your hiring process. From the minute you put out the ad, it needs to talk to this. And I'm going to give you an example of that. When you're on the phone with them and they're calling in for the interview, you need to talk to this language, because this is what's in their heads. If you do not do the secret psychology on your target audience, you're never going to be able to talk their language. And if you never talk their language, you're never going to be able to resonate with them. If you don't resonate with them, you're never, ever going to be able to attract them. There's just no way it's going to happen. You're actually going to push them away if you don't do this. So how do we go about doing that? So in your ad, you want to use language like this. You might want to write this down, a bit of a script here. You might want to write this down. We're looking for A players that want to get more training, that want to get supported so that they can become the best in their trade. We're looking for A players that appreciate having control so that they're getting material on time, so that they're getting everything that they need to succeed. We're looking for A players so that their dreams can come true as well, that they can actually live the lifestyle that they want and be happy, not just at work, but to be able to live the life that they want outside of the work environment. Guys, if you took that alone, maybe removed, we're looking for A players repeating itself, okay? And you put that in an ad, and you were able to follow through on that, mark my words, here's what you're going to attract. You are going to attract all of those guys, all those, women, no matter what the position is. You're going to attract them from where? You're going to attract them from all of your competition, because your competition right now, for the most part, is in chaos. And the main reason that they're in chaos is because they don't know how to run a business. So one of the key things that we got to get control of the how, is we've got to get control of our business. So if you guys don't take action on downloading and typing in, hey, I want the hiring audit, then you're never going to know. That just tells me that you're not serious about solving your problem. So hopefully this resonated with you today. I'll put my head back into the bucket in the center here. Understand that you're not alone. Nobody has taught you how to do this stuff, okay? But now that you've been shown a bit of the pathway, it's truly up to you to take that pathway. It's not up to me. It's not up to my team. It's up to you. And just remember that if you don't solve this problem now, you are missing out on the greatest opportunity in the history of any entrepreneur, because the demand for tradespeople is going to be continuously going up the roof, through the roof, up the roof, and that pressure of demand is going to take the cracks that are currently in any contractor's business right now, and it's going to crush it. It's going to open it up into crevices, in the canyons, and a lot of contractors are actually not going to survive just due to the fact that there's too much demand and they don't know how to manage it. When you start to get control of your business, and a lot of our champion CEOs, they end up attracting tons and tons. They have people knocking on their door. Why are they knocking on their door? Because A players are out there. They're currently working for your competition, and you can get them if you just use these tools and these strategies, and you're really serious about creating a hiring process that works. And I'm just skimming the surface. And how do we know that I'm just skimming the surface? I'm skimming the surface. Man, my tongue is twisted today because of this. We just talked about one thing on here. This is the only thing that we talked about today. This guy right here. Determine your avatar. That's it. We didn't talk about any of the other things. Imagine where your hiring process could be at if you got this audit. So again, type in hiring audit, and you got this, and you started being able to check off done, 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 done. I'm telling you, it doesn't take all of these to be a game changer. It only takes a fraction of these to start getting the momentum that you need to get your business to be going in the direction that you want it to go. And in this case, specific to hiring. So this is Andrew Houston with the No Bullshit Podcast for Contractors. I hope this was valuable for you guys. I love doing this for you guys because we get a lot of responses, and we get a lot of people that really do appreciate the time that I take. Again, I don't have to do this for me. I'm doing this for you guys, and I'll keep on doing it. So you guys let me know if you want the hiring audit. Type in hiring audit, and again, please ask questions. Please put into that Facebook group any of the questions that you have, because the more that you guys can ask me on how I can help you, the more that I can help you. And I love I probably overuse it, but I love Jerry Maguire, man, in the movie Jerry Maguire, where he's like, help me to help you, right? Actually, the other way around. Help me to help you guys. So, see you in the flip. This is the coach over and out with the No Bullshit Podcast for Contractors. Keep it real and become that champion CEO that you're meant to be. Ciao. Hey, Rockstar, I hope that you enjoyed that one. I mean, if you did like this podcast, leave a review, leave a comment. This will help us a lot to keep you bringing the gold, keep allowing you to delegate, dominate, and deliver so you can take your contracting business to the next level. Now, make sure you subscribe, get the latest teachings and insights, and we will see you back here for another No Bullshit Podcast. No, seriously, no bullshit.